Okay, let's continue the previous topic, which is about scientists' observation. How do scientists observe the behavior of the turtle? How do scientists track the navigation of the turtle, or how do far the turtle goes? Because girls, most of the time of sea turtles' life is in the water. So they travel, they migrate so far, and then the scientist wants to know how do they live their life? How do they survive during this long migration? So scientists use devices and tracking tools to find how do turtles is doing that. So I will show you a short video about that.
We are interested in how sea turtles are using the Gulf Stream environment. And so we tagged 5 juvenile sea turtles that were collected from North Carolina beaches down south and were raised at the Pine Knoll Shores Aquarium until they were the size that we could attach a solar satellite tag to them and release them in the Gulf Stream amongst sargassum. This is filling in one of the major data gaps in the sea turtle life history. These guys are incredibly long-lived, and we don't know much about that early time frame that they spend offshore, so we don't know where they go, how they interact with their environment, and so not knowing that makes it more difficult to protect them. A lot of the technologies that were present until recently were too large to be able to tag smaller turtles. And so we're really interested in how those turtles are using the Gulf Stream, and the North Carolina Renewable Ocean Energy Program is interested in it because if we are to harness Gulf Stream-based energy, we need to do so responsibly, and that means making sure that we protect species that could be at risk of interaction with those turbines, including juvenile sea turtles. It's important because sea turtles they're protected under the Endangered Species Act, but they interact with a lot of fisheries. And when you have turtles interacting with human activities, what will happen is those human activities may be restricted. So the more information that we have, the better targeted our management can be. So we're not just blanket, protecting areas or habitat. We can home in on where they're actually going, where they're actually using the habitat, and perhaps release restrictions elsewhere. Every time the turtle is at the sea surface, the tag will transmit to overhead satellites. The tags themselves, because they require recharging, they'll be transmitting for about 10 hours, and then they shut down for 2 days to recharge. But during that 10-hour active period, they're sending all sorts of signals to overhead satellites that then will just send them to somebody's email and computer. So these solar tags are temporary tags. We affix them to the back of the sea turtle with a suite of different adhesives, but they are meant to fall off eventually. Sea turtle shells grow as the sea turtle's soft tissues grow, so anything that would be permanently affixed could cause harm to the sea turtle. And so these tags will fall off over time, sometime between immediately after they're put on to 300 days from when they're put on. We're hoping for about 30 days. The public can track these sea turtles by going to seaturtle.org. We did have 5 tags that were transmitting at one time, and you can see the tracks of the tags that are still transmitting now. Projects like this are important because not only is it providing information for our program, for the North Carolina Renewable Ocean Energy Program, and maybe supporting the development of Gulf Stream-based energy, but it's also just providing us information about a organism that is really interesting to the general public and is also protected. And so the more that we know about these animals, the more that we can make decisions to help protect them.
Okay, so that is how researcher is doing, or how do researcher observe sea turtles migration. So it is very helpful to us. At the same time, we can also protect the sea turtles. At the same time, we could study their behavior when they are migrating. So this is a big help to the animals also. Okay, so what are the other things that scientists do? Okay, scientists draw a conclusion. So after gathering the information that they have, they draw a conclusion. Draw meaning they do a decision about their experiment or about their research. Scientists use their observation to draw a conclusion or to make a decision. When they draw a conclusion, they summarize what they have learned by analyzing their observation. For example, a scientist may observe that some population of the birds that ate certain fish are decreasing. The scientists may then observe that the fish have been dying by testing properties of soil samples from the riverbed. The scientists may be able to observe qualities of the soil such as the presence of pollution. Using this observation, the scientists might conclude that the pollution in the rivers is causing the living thing there to be unhealthy and to die or move away. Remember, in the ecosystem, it's a balance. A fish eating a fish eating a bird eating fish could be affected if we have a lot of water pollution. I will show you an illustration. Okay, so this illustration will show you how do scientists draw a conclusion. For example, heron is a bird that is eating fish. This fish is growing in a river. If the water in the river is polluted, the fish might be affected because if the water is dirty, the fish possibly might die. And then if there's no fish anymore in this river, the heron might migrate or it might find another place to find food. Okay, so that is how scientists conclude. Not only about the heron, but it's also about the fish and then it's about the river. So the scientist needs to investigate first why this bird is migrating. So the conclusion is not only about the fish, it's also about the condition of the river. Let's answer this question. Number 6. Tell how scientist testing helps scientists draw conclusion. The possible answer is testing gives scientists data from observation to draw conclusion. That is how do scientists do their decisions. Next, number 7. What are the 4 things that scientists do? First, they define the problems. After that one, they make up a hypothesis. And then next is they make an observation. And then afterwards is they draw a conclusion or they decide. Number 8. How can people solve problems? People can do research when they want to solve a problem. Example, the coronavirus issue nowadays. To solve the problem, they need to do research. They need to make an hypothesis, they need to observe, and then they need to conclude to make a decision. And then number 9, let's draw a conclusion. Why should you use a variety of sources when you do a research for an investigation? The research that you do needs as a scientific valid information. Meaning, you need a scientific information, not a hearsay, not a gossip, not a, not just a video. It should be scientific video, not just a vlog, but it should be a scientific blog. Scientific blog meaning there is a scientific explanation in what the blogger or what the teacher, what the scientist is doing, not just, you know, concluding without evidence and proof. So that is how scientists do their research and investigation. So I hope you learned a lot today, girls. So I know most of you or some of you wants to be a scientist. So I hope, girls, that you will contribute to the solution of our society. So scientists, they are doing their best to solve many problems in our society. At the same time, they make our life easier. That is the work of scientists. Thank you. I hope you learned a lot today.